everything.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
I've already messed things
How are
up.
You?
And you can see Tim on the screen. I don't know why Tim's on the screen. He wasn't here when we practiced this earlier, but there's Tim.
Tim's on the screen. Hello,
Everyone
Tim.
can
You
see
are
Tim.
live.
Tim is live. I'm going to put him right in the middle here. Here we go. Right, Tim's on screen.
Whee!
I don't know why that suddenly appeared. I don't know why that suddenly appeared like that. I didn't do that when we were practicing. But there we go. How are you, Tim?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. Anybody who's not aware, tonight's show is all about Orruks.
Orruks. It's the Tim show.
It is the Tim show. It is the Tim show. Who have we got online tonight? Let's see who we've got in the house. We've got Milky, we've got Malachi, we've got Matt, we've got Paul, we've got Milky again, we've got Andrew, we've got Megaloz, probably all tucked up in bed. Matt, Horned Rat, Minis. We got loads of people on. Hello, everybody. Mr. Marlowe, Paul. Hello. Yes, and of course we've got Tim. I've got my favourite shirt on tonight. Have a look at read my shirt. Read Sausage Man. It's a long story, and it involves my wife's friend. To not go into any more detail. Yes, that is not the nickname. Something along those lines. So hello everybody, I do hope everybody is coping well in the current craziness we find ourselves in. As you can see, I am doing fine.
Oh. Yeah. No, we're all good. I'm good. Slightly more sane than last week.
Excellent. And Tim, how are you on this fine evening?
I'm good. One of the few people that's still going to work, I would say.
I think you're among friends on the Patreon channel. There's quite a few Patreons who are still going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few people, which is,
I actually wouldn't mind leaving the house for 8 hours a day and not having to teach the children, I have to say. But
Robin would almost pay money to do that.
Yeah, it almost would. Yeah. I went to Sainsbury's today. That was exciting. Yeah. Do some shopping. I had to leave my son out on the street because now they're only letting one grown-up in, one adult into the Sainsbury's. Yeah, and they said, "Does he have to come in?" I was like, "Well, he's taller than me. He's like 6'2". I was like, "Now," I was like, "Well, he's only 14, but I suppose he can wait outside." And so yeah, he had to wait outside while I did the shopping, and then he helped me carry it home.
That makes no sense. I mean, surely if he stayed with you, then he wouldn't be as close to anyone else walking by in the street. I mean, what's the logic in that?
It didn't entirely make sense, but I wasn't going to argue with the Sainsbury's man.
No, true. Or else he could just say, "You can't come in at all. Screw you. No toilet roll for you."
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You don't want that.
So no, nobody wants that. Everybody needs the toilet roll right now. So we're here tonight to talk about Tim's Orruks and his dick. We're going to talk about Tim's dick all night long. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know how many times we're going to get that joke in there. Never gets old. That joke never gets old. Now we've prepped ourselves in advance. We've had some questions that are ready to go, and we've had some questions from our patrons. But if anybody's got any questions out there in YouTube land as well that you want to ask, then do just give us a shout in the comments. As always, we always appreciate all the comments and all the back and forth and jibber jabber that we get going on.
Jibber jabber.
Jibber jabber. So anybody who wants to see what Tim's deck looks like, there is a link in the description as well, so you can go follow that and look at the wonder that is Tim's deck. But we're gonna try and not make any more jokes
because I haven't brought it up in front of me yet, so I need to do that.
Robin. Can't get the staff. This is what I have to.
Well, I mean, I do have it, obviously, but I funny enough, it's for some reason not here. Because I've got about 5 computers, so I'm always opening on one or the other. But here we go.
You did say that you had done all your usual prep for this evening, so.
Well, that's true. That's true. Opening a tab. That's too much. Just
too much. Too much extra work. So
dropping a tab, maybe.
So let's get crashing with some nice basic questions. So I guess my first one for you, Tim, is why Orruks? Why did you pick Orruks to champion?
I recently did not started with Orcs. I started with the Skaven when I started playing Shapes Nightfall really when I got into it. But I slowly changed over to Orcs quite quickly. I think the main reason is I like rolling dice and hitting things. Very simple, but it's blunt. I used to collect orcs in fantasy, and I just like running up to things as fast as possible and smack them in the face. And orcs still do it, really. That's why I like them.
See, I like rolling dice and hitting things. I just never get the hitting them things part. I just end up rolling the dice and getting lots of assists.
Yeah.
Lucky enough, my dice roll isn't as bad as yours.
Few people's is as bad as mine. Yeah, I was just editing the game when Loz and Matt came on the show, and yeah, one of those games was painful to edit. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that one yet, though. So you've not been tempted to drop your Orruk fetish when the new warbands came out in season 2 or 3 at all?
Nearly did. I was quite tempted to have a go on the God Swarm, so someone even bad than Orcs. The God Swarm was quite appealing to me because they're just so different. Each model, you got archer, a spearman, a dog, a wizard. So I like the different mechanics they can do. That's why I nearly went towards them, but I kept with my orcs and kept
it's quite
playing
hard
with them.
to take a step down from Orruks, but you going to Godsworn would have been a step down, I think. I think it's a shame that the Godsworn aren't better, because they are lovely. You said they're lovely models and they've got lovely variation, but they just suck.
I haven't played them. I only played them once, and I wanted to try them again in the new format to check how well they are, because I think they might do better now because it's less. With the card rotation, I think they might do all right now, but I haven't tested them out. So
I felt like they're worse because a lot of their quick easy glory is gone. That's what I feel, and they don't have that. Despite having the name Hunt in the title, they don't have the Hunter mechanic in their thing either. So apparently, I'm correct on that summary. So as Matt says, and Matt is the Oracle. In the absence of John, Matt is the Oracle.
Well, I don't know if John's online. If you are, John, let us know. It's always nice to hear from an expert.
I did have a look at them when I toyed with the idea of taking them again to the Grand Clash just for a laugh, and they're just like crap despoilers now. The despoilers do everything better.
Yeah, true. But if you did took them, you could won something because be the only person who took Godswarm.
Well, I would have done, and actually, in that respect, I would have placed better because I would have won something. Because nobody bought them. So there you go. I should have taken them.
You would have at least got a card for bit fate for playing the best. That's why I wish I'd taken my my Skaven now. Because was there a Skaven? No, there was a Skaven player. I was going to take someone else and I didn't. And the one I was going to take, no one took. So anyway.
Okay.
That's the way it goes. So, I don't know if anybody out there in YouTube land is looking at the deck right now, but I've got it up in front of me. I don't know if Tim or Robin, if you guys have got it up in front of you at the minute, but it's mad. This deck is mad.
It's crazy. It's got 22 total glory in it, which is pretty impressive. And my first question, actually, Tim, was Annihilation, Conquest, and Denial. Do you ever score all of those? And how often?
Yeah.
How often does it horribly brick up? So that's two questions. But how often?
We'll answer them both simultaneously.
I do score Conquest and Denial quite a lot of the time now. Definitely, with a lot of control, and I would say objective play. People, everybody will keep in their terrain. Definitely, how I put my when I put the objective tokens, I try to put them forward, not back. So, so when they so they don't. If I place it miles behind, definitely against Grimwatts, they don't put them behind and sit there in the back in the corner, and I can't do much with them. So it's mostly up the front. So it's more forcing them coming towards me, so I don't move as fast, and it does work. With Annihilation, The last Grand Class, I think I scored it one. I think I scored it twice with the same person. He had Curse Breakers. Once with the Despoilers, and I think last time I scored 3 times, maybe 4 times the last Grand Class and the Grand Class in January. So
Wow.
I do score it quite a lot, and when I get that them 3 combos off near the end, there's like 10 glory. There we go, I win.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, if you get that off, I mean, your opponent's probably already sobbing because they've got no models left, and then you're just splashing glory all over the place.
It's Denial on and Annihilations won me Fisty the trophy, my recent trophy. We both killed each other in the last turn, and I said, can you score any glory from your deck? He goes, no. Well, I got Annihilation Denial. And he goes, I hate him so much.
Brilliant. So who's that you were playing against?
He's from one of my local store, and his name is I think he's going to kick me. Joe. He's a very good tournament player. He plays not just Underworld. He plays Magic, HeroClix, and everything else. He does a lot of tournament play, and he's a very strong, brutal person. And he has been playing Chaos Breakers really non-stop since I know him, and his deck is horrible, and if I do one slip up, he can just destroy me. And lucky enough, I had last long in my hand, and lucky enough I rolled a hammer on it. Last long. Lucky enough I rolled a hammer. He killed me, but I killed him at the same time.
Aww, beautiful.
Nice.
He was not impressed, and so but I think out of the 3, Denial I scored the most. It's really good end card for 3 glory, and it's a really easy, my opinion, 3. It's rarely I don't score it. I have been wiped out and still scored it.
I guess
I can see how you could score it game 1, but is it still easy to score in games 2 and 3?
Yes, if they forget. I have had opponents forget I have that in my deck,
right?
And I score it, and they go, and I've said, "Oh dang, I forgot to move one into your square," because they're sometimes too busy trying to score their own, and they please forget.
Yeah.
I guess the thing is, if you charge forwards into their half and you're smashing skulls all over the place in their board, it's very easy quite often for your opponent to then get away from their half and get into your half to stop you scoring that, because they're still after quite often objectives and things like that, and you've already dumped all those on your opponent's side.
Their own game plan. So how do you set up the board then?
Fisty is Fisty up front, close as possible.
Right.
Fisty, I might move it mostly straight on, but sometimes I do move it side off a little bit. It depends on what board they place, because some boards I want to move a bit on further to one side to other, because theirs is in the corner, or it's isn't. I think some of the boards have like nothing on what against the board eggs, if I'm looking at it correctly. Onto one side. So I try to choose boards that all the starting hedges is the first 2, so I have less spaces go towards them, and so I can hit. Well, I've tried to definitely get big warbands, at least hit 1 or 2 of them. But it's quite simple, very aggro board placing. So it's but I do put a lot of thought in. When I lose the board placement, then I look, okay, if they put lengthways, still I need to choose a board that is quite sensible, and so on and so forth. So I do pay attention. If I do lose it, I got a chance of both sides or it's lengthways. So I can look at them all. I think I spent about 10 minutes choosing the board, and aggro players, I have noticed some people just put a ball down, that's it. But I do put a good thought into my board.
So we didn't really cover this at the beginning, but the reason why we've got you on the show is we had quite a few of our patrons say we want to know what Tim's deck is like and what he does, what is Tim's secret sauce, because you have done for a season 1 warband phenomenally well in recent tournaments, grand clashes and such like that, with probably no real exposure of any kind of mechanic abuse at all. It's not like there's the Skaven loot and scoot deck, which takes advantage of a few mechanics which maybe can be abused in some way, possibly some might say. But you're not doing anything, and I'm not going to use the term. You're not doing anything clever in an offensive way. You're doing Orruks in the way Orruks were intended, which is mashing faces, and you're doing well with it. So that's why we've got you on tonight to hopefully teach us the way of Gurzag and tell us what your deck's all about.
And I know Valentin was one of the guys who was really keen to ask you questions, and he's just posted one. And if you don't mind, he said could you go through your objective deck and explain the cards and your thinking behind it, please? So, have you got it there in front of you to go through?
I do. I got my deck in front of me.
Brilliant.
I already went through Annihilation, Conquest. No, really, it's fishy. Conquest is I'm moving forward. I want to be in your my opponent's half. It's that straightforward. Denial is most of the time they don't go my side anyway. So my side anyway. Annihilation is there for. I wanted a card that had more than one glory, and a slightly more risky one. But when it pays off well, and I can chance to win if I'm against like Grimwatch or someone who has loads if I wipe them out. And also near the end when I know I've done well, I have a lot of glory. So if I win 2 games and wipe them out, that's 10 glory. Really, that helps me. If I lose 1 match out of 4, I have more glory than people lower. That's
makes sense.
And that's the reason. I will go for my search cards as first. Yes, no.
So I've got the list
really,
up
really. Yeah, I got all cards in front. Really, strong start. Really straightforward. I want to hit them. I want to kill them first. If I get small horde warbands when they got 2 wound characters, I can run Gurzag or Bone Cutter in and hit one and get easy glory. It's really that straightforward. It's one of the strongest aggro cards, surges for I think aggro players. It's one of the straightforward ones, and I think if you're playing any aggro deck, you should automatically have that in your deck straight away.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people agree. I have Cancel Lives at Risk. My only is my only ploy card, not ploy, a Gypsy card. That's for that is. I can't think
of passive now. Glory score.
Pass my only really passive glory really. If I don't do anything, I try to have that. Hopefully, I get it quite early on, and the main person I use that is Hacker, because I want Hacker is my out bashing and Hacker. There, he's the first one I want to spy as quick as possible. So sometimes I use he's the one that I'm mostly using to get more chance of getting cleave, and I have got What Armor in my deck as well.
Okay.
Hacker can get it, and also I got Class and Cleave. I can put on Gurzag or Bone Cutter, and it does. I do deploy it quite a lot, so it does come up quite useful. And I find it quite usual having Cass and Cleave and all just random. Just
it's a good card. I've been running that on Warhammer Underworlds online, and I think it's even better in that circumstance because you've got a lot of Cleave warbands knocking, shield warbands knocking around in that game at the moment. Yeah. But it's a really nice card, and it's on back. It's although it's restricted, it's Bonecutter or Gurzag, and the chances of them both being dead early on is slim. One might die, but you can put it on the other one, and then they're pretty lethal.
Yeah, then I've got Hacker still, so I've got 3 guys that can score it.
Yeah,
fine with upgrades, but it's really good. One really straightforward, called Aware, 8 charges and get a glory. It's no difficult. That one I really want mostly on the second round.
Yeah,
because I'm mostly quite close to them, and that's why I want it. It's really one that I think one of those easy. I do reckon you play Orcs. I do recommend that one. Always have you in your deck for Defiant or Surge. It's really straightforward. One of my most newest cards I swapped out is the Unexpected Pitfall. The reason why I put it in there because I got Pit Trap, I think Lethal Ward as well.
Yeah.
And
Collapse as well. You've got
as well, and also it works on Lethal Hex as well. And I swapped it out from I think bigger the best. When Gurzag kills a model, I swapped that out to get this to have 1x another Surge card, and I killed so many people with Pitfall or Lethal Ward or something like that, and it was just quite straight. Why not take it? It's a really easy card to score as well, and definitely because it's a hybrid as well, so you've got some more option to score it. And I wanted another Surge card as well, and that was came out at the right time, so that's really useful. It's one of the cards I don't see a lot at all. I have not seen this played against me or someone had this in the deck. Every time I play someone is Fateful Strike. I know I've seen you two been playing using it quite recently.
Yeah, I've used it, yeah.
I think we both have because we've been rolling Andrew decks. I think Andrew likes using it.
But when I'm against a lot of warbands, it's mostly double shield or double dodge nearly most of the time, and if you look in most of all the new warbands or even the Nightfall ones, nearly everybody when they get spired they're mostly double dodge or something like that. It's mostly only for like Orcs, Morgan Fiends and stuff like that. They mostly only have 1 dodge or 1 shield from the early on. But all these Nightfall and the Beastgrave, most of them have like 2 dodges, or when they get upgraded, they have 2 shields.
It's a lot of 2, aren't there? A lot of two dice warbands now on defense. Ironically, this card is crap against the Orruks. They're really hard to get on 2 defense on them.
So it's very. But yes, I think I only struggle when I play Grimwatch because they only get double dodged when they get expired or they get the upgrade
Spirit Armor
when they get
Spectral Armor or things like that.
Spirit Armor, So I mostly don't really I don't really score against Grimrots because the whole point is to run their half and don't get the next part to all of them to get expired. Really, that's the worst thing to do. Really. So that's what. Inspired, so that's so I do struggle against Grimrots, but otherwise most other warbands I can score it quite well.
I think that's all your Surge cards. I think we've covered there, and they've all got a definite theme, which is running the other half and smash your opponent's face in. And then,
well, to be honest, so have the rest of the objectives.
That is true, yes.
Good scrap.
I was just going to say,
scrap, punch up, keep chopping. It's just as you said at the top of the show, it's just kind of like running and smash things.
Keep chopping says it all. It's just do 4 attacks, really easy. Good scrap. I was going back through my objective list from October, and I've come along this one. And when I read it through again properly, it says definitely now scored is in the end phase if 3 or more fighters were taken out of action. I find this really good because it says fighters, not your enemy. Especially you can lose 3 orcs and score this. And I have before.
Oh, painful.
So it's like, okay, that's 2 glory. I lost 3 guys, but I still can score 2 glory. And the most recent one is, and the other one's punch up. But I am thinking changing that to. I think I said this to you last time. I think I'm going to swap it to
combination strike.
Combination strike.
Yes, I'm going to change strikes because I'm not scoring that much now. Definitely with more 3
fighter
warbands are coming out. It's harder to score it. Definitely when I have all my 4 orcs on the table.
Yeah.
So I'm going to scrap on.
So anybody who doesn't have a card, punch up is scoring an end phase if all your surviving fighters, at least 2 of them, made an attack against a different enemy. So if you've got all 4 alive, you've got to attack 4 different people with those 4 guys, which can be a big ask.
It's definitely, and it's impossible when you have 3 models on the board.
That's true. That is true. So it's good if you get it late game and you've lost a couple of guys, because then you only need 2 alive to be able to score it. But it can be a bit restrictive. And I think swapping that for combination strike could be a good move. You might, come this September, we're going to lose combination strike and all that. So we'll have to see what else has come along since then that you might be able to capitalise on instead.
It is in most decks, isn't it?
Yeah. I think for good reason. It's a good card, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's covered the objective.
We did get a question.
I don't know if Valentin's that.
Yeah,
covering. Go on.
Hopefully Valentin answered that. We did get a question during that, which was, have you played against Wormspat with this deck yet?
No, not yet. I want to. I'm hoping when all of this blows over, when my local store, the Hobbit Hole, comes up. I know he wants to. He's got. He was planning to do one on last weekend, but sadly we couldn't do it. I know Joe to start playing Wormspat, so that's some good news because I want to fight against them, and I haven't fought against the ogre as well. I'm not going to remember his name now.
Hrothgorn, yeah. Well, that could be a juicy matchup actually.
See, I reckon
versus the Orruks.
Yeah, I think you'd struggle more against Hrothgorn. I don't think you'd struggle against Wormspat with this deck. I think you'd chew through them.
Yeah, probably.
Well, if I do well and get lot of cleave, and if they don't get Spire, then yes, I think my orcs can do well. They don't scare me. It's like the Rippers. They're really good when you know how to play them, but I faced them like 4 times and crossed them because they just take my orcs, and I just go, oh, that's fine. I just crunch you, and I just have walk.
Yeah, well, Rippers I think they need a bit of time to get going, don't they? And if you don't give them that with the Orruks, then it's probably a good matchup for you. I'm interested. It's interesting actually. Wormspat, their inspiration mechanic works kind of directly opposite yours in the sense that I've gone green.
I don't know why you've gone green, Robin. You've done something. You've clicked on something. You've made yourself green.
Have I?
It's to fit the Orruk theme.
Oh, now I'm frozen.
Robin's inspired. That's what you get for clicking around, Robin. This does answer. This does sort of cover some of our questions whilst Robin plays with his camera, which is which warbands and play styles do you find the easiest and the hardest to come up against with your Orruks?
The hardest control. Definitely when I'm against curse breakers. They like to sit in the back and let me come to them. They are if I don't get the right cards, or they don't do a lot of the get all the magic stuff off and get the right cards come out, I can do struggle. But I have done really well, and I have smushed quite across a lot of them. But it is a really hard match, and I do put a sweat on when I'm against really good opponents with breakers. They are not a walk in the park. They're one of my worst ones to come across.
Okay, that's interesting. That. So who would you say when you see them setting up and you just sit and think, awesome, this is in the bag? Do you have any warbands like that other than Eyes of the Nine?
Yeah, yeah, that's so easy. The spoilers, the beastmen, they don't scare me. If I can get rid of the big guy who can do 3 damage, then I'll just walk through the army, the warband well.
Okay, I think we covered the Valentin also asked how do you do with longboards and offsets, but I think, I mean, how do you deal with longboards and offsets?
Longboards, I cry.
I guess there isn't really a proper control sit at the back play style at the moment, is there? So that probably plays into your hands a little bit. Nobody really sits passively right at the back, I don't think, at the moment.
I have to say the last, I think how many people I've done, I only has happened to me last about a year, only once, right. And that was October Grand Class when I came 12th in it. My last opponent, I think his name was Dan or Dave, and he was playing Curse Breakers, and he done that, and he was getting his easy glory off, but I got in there in the 3rd round, and it was a very close match. He got 9 glory, I got 8 because that. Yes, it was really lucky enough. I do got ranged weapons in my Orc deck. That
I noticed that.
Unusual. So if I'm not in range, I get a couple glory, easy glory like cancel a risk or something else. I do. If they come up, I put them on, and I can do like little damage, 2 damage to like weaker models, or just standing back and hit people from range with range, so I can chip away before I can run in there and hit them properly. But it just depends on really everything.
I noticed you've got Nullstone arrows, which is a interesting card, but it's really good for like keep chopping for when you're out of range.
And it's range 4. Most of the range ones are only range 3.
But it's also great because you've got Cunning but Brutal, haven't you? Which is just a brilliant card. So you can move. Sorry, no. Which one is Cunning but Brutal? It's the
Cunning but Brutal, which you can move. And
you
make
move
an
up
attack.
and charge. It's not the one I was thinking of, because you've also got the one where you haven't got the other one in your deck where you can shoot and then move up, push them 3 hexes, which is pretty good too.
So shall we? Yeah. Do you want to run through your gambits that you've got right now? Because and people might not have noticed this. There's 26 cards in this deck. 26 of them.
26 power cards. Yeah, that's mad as well. If Annihilation and Conquest and Denial wasn't mad enough, there's 26 power cards in the deck.
Because I have tried to make it up to 20, but I just like too many ploy cards. I've tried, and it's just so hard, and I just gave up. And I mostly do 24, 26, and I've been doing that for years now. Since I really started, I was doing like 22, then went up to 24. Now it's 26, and I don't want to go back down.
It is nice to see that you have got cards in here from across the spectrum. You've got Orruk cards in here. You've got Season 2 cards in here. You've got all stuff all the way up to the gift pack and the latest Wormspat deck and stuff like that. So do you want to run through those quickly and just give a bit of a summary of why you've picked those?
Yeah, it's quite. I can. Haymaker. It's one of the most. It's one of the most. If you play an aggro deck, everybody takes it. It's that straightforward. It's just fantastic.
I notice you've got aggro. You've got Haymaker, but you don't have Potion of Rage, which was a bit.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like when you spend a glory and then you use it and it goes away. And it's like, okay, no, I prefer to have another card, another upgrade, like +1 strength, a +1 strength one. Then
okay. Interesting.
So the one-shot wonder.
You would on it, but yeah, I don't like one-shots. Definitely upgrades. I prefer. I can keep holding my upgrades.
Interesting. Okay.
So
sorry,
wings,
back to Gambits. Spectral Wings,
Gambit, yeah. Spectral Wings, it is lifesaver. Definitely when I combo Haymaker and Spectral Wings together and I can run the back, hit someone really important, like with Gurzag, and I can kill someone really important off, or do 3 damage, push them back, kill them with Pit Trap or something like that. And I've done that so many times, I lost count. Pit Trap itself, really good card. I'm gonna say I will cry when this one goes because it's.
Yes.
They need to do something about it because definitely a new one. If you got only hunters can use snares, I find it a bit unfair.
Yeah, so it's not very fair on the Orruks.
Or I say, or anybody's not a hunter. So season 2 onwards. Lethal Ward, it's now definitely these days when a lot of people are playing objective decks, it's one of the best ones. And what a lot of people do, they get one of the weaker models, score cancel arrest, and land on land on the furthest objectives in the back. And I have scored that something killing someone off because they scored one, and he scored Strong Start and Inspector Pitfall. And I scored that combo quite a few times. The last tournament I went to. So yeah, it's really good. Definitely now what people are doing. Cunning but brutal. I think this is one of the cards I always have in my deck. I move forward, and I can attack, and I don't move away, or I charge into multiple people. I can keep hitting people. If it goes well, I can kill more than 2 to 3. I have done that before.
It's one of my favourite ploys in the entire game. Not just Orruks. It's just a brilliant ploy, and I just love it.
Yeah, there's not many cards that have come out since then that have done the same kind of thing that are as good. There is the one where you have to be on an objective and you get a free attack off after making a move, but that's it, and you've got to be standing on an objective.
Yeah, that's and that goes really well with what you just mentioned, Jealous Defense.
Yeah.
I can do attack, play enough attack. So
if you're really lucky, you might be able to get Gurzag forward onto an objective. If you've got both of those cards, you can then make 2 attacks without having to do anything.
Yes, I have done that, and it has paid off, and I've done really well. This is one way.
Then you could roll having a good time and do a third.
I've done that. I've only done that once so far. This one of my other new ones is Lucky Escape. I find it quite useful, definitely when someone runs up, does 3 damage, push them back into a lethal hex or use Pit Trap or Snare, and like, oh yeah, I'm going to kill you. No, you don't. And it really makes people angry.
Yeah.
And also, this is really good to annoy the crap out of who's the leader from the Curse Braceted guy?
Avron?
Stormsire.
Yeah. Someone can waste a turn and use an attack. If it passes, you can use that, and it counts. It's failed, so they need to use another spell cast to do to cut.
I hadn't thought of that before. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
I've done that.
Basically,
so
just steals their attack, throws it in their face.
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. My experience of Lucky Escape is that it's never in my hand at the right time. But yeah.
Inspire attack. It's really good. +1 dice, +1 damage.
Brilliant card. Inspire attack.
It's hard for anybody who's aggro. Collapse. I swapped that out from Shadow.
Encroaching Shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, out
because it's just better.
Yeah, it's better.
It's just better.
Yeah.
Half time, you only get one person still. Nearly all the time, you get one person still. Having a good time. I know it's a 50-50 chance for enough attack, but it's just enough for attack. And if it kicks off, it can be quite hurtful, and it can make.
I mean, if you can get something like that off, and you've already had things like Jealous Defense, and you've got Cunning but Brutal, you could be getting so many more attacks off potentially. And if you've got someone like Gurzag with a great strength or something like that, he could just be wrecking faces left and right if you can get a few rolls going your way.
Yeah. I would say Orruks are the few people that have more now are able to do more attacks than any other warband.
Yeah.
Just thanks to the cards. Last long. Again, before I die, I can do another attack if I roll hammer or crit. Again, it's a 50-50 chance, but that card won me the glass last time.
Nice.
For last game. So officially, that card has won me a trophy. So it is really useful.
It's pretty much when it comes
to
place in your deck.
Yeah, so it is. I like it. It really surprised people. And definitely when it kicks off and you turn around, die, but kill something and take something with you, people have to think, okay, that this is not what I expect. They don't see it coming sometimes. Life Surge.
Yeah.
Am I reading it correct?
Life Surge.
It's really good. I have had some people come dev against the worms back, definitely when they're doing like little 1 damage per model.
Yeah.
One time I inspired 3 more orcs running through lethal hexes. I had this in my hand for this reason, heal them all. And then it was one in this one's like a reprint of another one from
I can't remember what it's called. Tainted Vitality, is it? I think
something like that. Yeah. So happy they bought this card again back, or had something really similar, because it does make a lot of difference. I can inspire my orcs going for lethal hexes and heal them all, and I have 4 inspired orcs, and it's not a nice thing to come across.
No.
And he has saved a couple of my orcs, and I cannot read this, and it's Gavin and O.
Galvanized.
I cannot read
Galvanized.
That one at all.
Galvanized.
I expect my orcs to die, and when one die as a reaction, I get 2 more dice. It's really that straight. I really like that one.
Yeah, it's a good card. I like that card. That was good for the old Godsworn Hunt, because they die like, well, yeah. I was going to make an off-color joke there, but they die very easily.
They die.
And then Galvanized is great.
I think I knew where you were going to go with that joke, and it's a good thing you didn't. That's all I'm saying. I mean, another thing about your deck here, so we've already got the fact that some of your objective cards are bonkers. The fact that you've got 26 cards in your deck is crazy. But you've also got multiple ploys in here that are, dice roll ploys, which you just don't see anymore these days when people play. They don't take these random chance cards. And it's just another... And Life Surge as well is one of those ones you're like, wow, okay, I don't remember the last time I saw anyone take that kind of card. So it's just another thing that makes this whole deck really different than what I think a lot of people see a lot of the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is. I think before when they got rid of the season one rotation, it's one card I really like, and I wish they brought it back was that's it. Up on your feet. When one of you guys die, you was standing next to one of your people. If you roll a shield, the crit ignore the damage and stands up. It's like I saw nobody took that, and I thought that card was brilliant. It was so annoying as well. And it's like, oh, I killed Gurzag. No, you don't.
So we've got a few more questions pop up in the chat and on our Patreon feed at the same time. Flipmo points out that with 26 cards, if you don't know what's coming out of your deck, then your opponent certainly can't, and that works in a best of 3 game. So there you go.
Yes, I have that to people. It's like, oh, they have asked me how much in my deck, and I go 26, and they go, oh, so what's half the time I get something completely different, and I don't get half my deck, and then the next time I can get the other half or mix and match. So yeah, people don't know half the time what's in my deck. Definitely, if it goes wrong the first time, and when it goes right the second game, it can make people worry and
really throw them off their stride. The one question was asked is, are you looking to strip out more of your Nightfall cards in lieu of the season? Well, in preparation for the season change coming on later this year, have you already started to earmark what you're going to change out?
Yes, I'm trying to do that right now because it's you always shouldn't get comfortable with cards because you know they're going, and I'm definitely Orruks. Then they are not the best warband at all. But yeah, it's really hard to. I do try to rotate the Nightfall ones and bring them and bring other ones in. But I wait and see what the 2 new warbands going to bring. And hopefully they're going to bring a lot of aggro because Orcs
and Dark Elves, or Daughters of Cain rather.
Do you think you're going to be tempted to the new Orruks, or are you going to stick with them?
I will look at them. If they don't have all 5 wounds, I am not going to be happy because you have a warband with 3 orcs, and if one got 5 and 2 got 4, and you got then Gurzag with 5 wounds and 3 orcs with 4, it's like, why you just give them a 4th one?
What about if they had 4 wounds each, but they all started on 2 shields?
That could be quite promising. So yeah, if they have that, they might be interesting in it. But I'm hoping the leader will have 5 wounds because if Gurzag that has 5, and they are Black Orcs, and these ones are the bigger ones.
These are whatever the new AOS version of the even better than Black Orcs is. But yeah, they're them.
So if they have their Black Orcs, Gurzag locked, and they got 4 wounds, and Gurzag got 5, this is why I expect this should all have 5. If they don't, a no Black Orc is as good as them. It doesn't make sense. That's what I'm hoping. If they got 5 wounds, I'd be quite happy, and they might be quite brutal. But I wait and see. I don't count. Don't count your chickens before the hatch.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see with the Orruks. Don't want to go too far into the new warbands, so obviously we're all about your Orruks tonight, but I'm wondering if there'll be a mechanic in there that when the Orruks take wounds, they get those tokens, because we know there are these war tokens out there in the wild still, and I wonder if you'll earn those for taking wounds or something like that, and that will give them the ability to do stuff. But it'll be interesting to see what that mechanic is. But so you're definitely not already prepping to replace your Orruks as they stand right now.
No, I love Gurzag boys, and I have converted them to the bigger orcs as well. So I put a lot of time, making my own 4-up quite well, and I get comments saying they look really good. You've done well done. So I do get a lot of people praising them as well when I go to any tournament really.
You have to take some pictures, try and share them around. We'd love to stick them up on the site and on Facebook if you don't mind. I'm sure everybody else would like to see what you've done with them.
But yes, I can go for my upgrades quite quickly.
Well, I was just gonna.
I love the fact that you've got mandibles. Sorry, Pete.
I was just going to say I just had a couple more questions to run through quickly, and then we can go through your upgrades. And then anybody else has any more questions? So a couple of things in the feed. Someone did say that they think this is absolutely amazing, cracking guest. So there you got a thumbs up on that one. Mr. Marlowe says 26 cards is bonkers, and you have no draw cards either. Well, everybody knows Mr. Marlowe likes his draw cards. He did ask, how do you feel when you play and you lose? Do you ever wish that you would have won, or do you ever wish or think that maybe you would have won, could have won, if you drawn one of the 11 cards in your deck that you never got to pick?
Yeah, sometimes I have, but I have seen people who have smaller decks than me, and they still don't get the right cards out. So I've had playing people who wanted a certain card and could win them the game, and it's right at the bottom of their deck. So even people have 20 cards, they can still lose, not have the right cards out. So you can have the right the lowest number, but you still not get the cards out. So to me,
you ever have trouble with bricking in your hand? Because I kind of feel like you've got the kind of quite difficult objectives to score. So you've got annihilation, conquest, and denial. They could be even if only two of them come out at the beginning or towards the beginning, you could be in trouble. And similarly, I think because each time you add a card, you've got add a pair of cards, you've got more chance of getting 5 upgrades.
You saying that, I don't get many 5 upgrades. It's really rare. It's just maybe how I shuffle them or how my opponent cut the decks. But I rarely don't get 5 upgrades.
Okay. It doesn't actually massively increase the chance. It's like 2%, I think, for every 2 cards you add. It's not huge, but I did wonder whether it could brick.
My objective deck, yes. If it comes out wrong, I'm dead.
Right.
And I've sat there. I think you can watch one of the games on Twitch. I was on the 4th round against, I can't remember the gentleman's name, and my objectives decks were horrible. I think I ditched my first 3 and got 3 worse, bad ones than I score anything, and nothing was right from my first game. So, and I've done that on the Twitch stream. So yes, it can, when it comes wrong, it goes wrong badly.
Yeah. You're getting some praise in the comments for your Orruks, saying they look great.
I guess when it comes to drawing out 5 upgrades in your starting hand, I guess if you've got 26 and 13 cards, I guess the odds work out that you've got a similar amount of chance of getting 5 ploys as you have 5 upgrades. You could go similar kind of way.
True.
So yeah, I guess it all balance out. Maybe I need to start taking more cards in my deck, because I seem to always keep drawing like 4 upgrades in the first round.
If I get 5, I just ditched him out, even looking.
Yeah. It's just really annoying, and I guess we'll come on to your upgrades in a moment. It can be really annoying, especially with the Wormspat deck that I played, because the upgrades are quite specific to Fecular in that instance. You're kind of really reliant on making sure that you keep some of the cards. You need some of them, you can't really get rid of them. But I guess with yours, and we'll go through them in a moment, if you get 5 upgrades for the most part, it doesn't matter what they are. You can probably ditch them all and take another 5 cards, and you're okay.
Yes, that's my upgrades are there to help me. It's more my ploys are my main cards. I want that. They're the ones I want to come out. Couple upgrades is nice, but I'm happy not to have any upgrades.
So we have it's already really 10 past 11, I've realised. I can't believe how quickly the time's gone. So we will quickly let you run through your upgrades and then see if there's any more questions around. So over to you.
Great strength, really straightforward card, really, and everybody takes it. Same with great fortitude. I have I take as well. I also take Tomb of...
You've got Tome of Vitality.
Tome of Vitality, yeah.
That's an extra wound. I don't like sudden growth because orcs down to 1 movement is not good.
That's true.
No.
The Amber Spear, I do really like. It's just because it has reach 2. And and that's really benefit. And if I kill someone, X glory is always nice.
Yeah.
Classically, just another way to get clean from to score war armor, and Gurzag with against army warband and Gurzag has that. He hurts.
Yeah.
That's straightforward.
Yeah.
Seeking Stone. I really like this ranged weapon. It's the first card that has come out that has a snare. Knife bolt, and against weaker warbands with all snare, and when the Devi take 1 damage, or I have pit trap or lethal ward
or collapse or something like that. Yeah,
and clear. I've done that a lot. I do like it. Hard head. This one is Orc Pacific. It's only for hack and basher. Reduce the damage by 1 to a minimum 1. I really like this card. This has saved basher or hacker quite a few times. I even remember halfway through taking the mother off, went, "Oh, he's alive! He's still got 1 wound left.
He's still alive! Thank the gods!"
And, oh, okay. I need to do enough attack on him, and then if I'm not charged, I can kill someone really quickly before he dies. Glory Seeker. This really works really good for the ranged weapons, because it does +1 damage. So against wound count models with 4 wounds. So really I do like it. Survival Instinct. This is just brutal. It just annoys people because I can stick that on Gurzag so they can't push him back. So when they charge in, then they're next to him and they're stuck next to him and they can't use pit trap or snare. And this really has annoyed opponents before. So it's just there to stop him getting pushed back. Now Stone Arrows. Again, it's just arranged. And with range 4, it's just really good.
Yeah.
Sting of the
Ugrug,
just another +1 damage. I swapped that out. I used to take what's it called? War. The charge +1 strength.
Oh yeah.
I changed that to this because that was only on the charge. This is all the time. I'd have now took. These are my 2 new ones. I got Manable of the Ugrug. I really do like this one. If I'm in range 1 and I take someone out, I heal 1 damage.
Yeah, I've been trying to get that into a deck. I really like that card, but so far it's always been like card 11, or in your case, card 14, and it hasn't quite. I've never managed to get into a deck. I'm quite tempted to try.
Yeah, I do like it, and it has quite benefits. I killed Orc that was on 2 damage to up to 4 because he killed 2 weaker ghouls and got back to 4 wounds, and that's so annoying.
Nice.
And I have got Parry Cunning.
Or Praise Cunning, yeah.
The fight is acquired. Yeah, if the fight is acquired, the fight cannot be damage dealt by gambits.
Yeah,
another nice one.
Starts pitch trap. And all the magic, so it annoys curse breakers a list. That's why I take it. It's really really useful, and it had annoys people.
I can see why you end up with 26 cards, because there are a lot of cards in there that are really nice, and I find I probably get into a similar situation, and Robin's probably the same, that you get down to this 26 card point and it's cutting those last 6 cards out is always the hardest point in the whole process. But you've gone away with that. You've just gone, screw it, I'm just going to take all 26 instead.
Yeah. See, I'll be looking at the deck and I'll be thinking, well, having a good time and last lunge are going because they're 50-50s.
Yeah, that would be exactly my thought process.
Yeah, 50, that's understandable. I only take them in because 50-50 chance for another attack. I think it's quite good for Orruks.
Yeah.
And the last long, if he does kick off, I can again, enough attack before one of them dies. So
I think, I can completely see why you include them, but I'm a control freak. I like to know what's going to happen.
I also wonder if it's because in season 2, I think a lot more guaranteed attack cards came out. There were a lot more cards that came along which could guarantee you an attack that you didn't have to worry about rolling a dice for. But a lot of those have gone now, and there aren't many ways of getting that extra attack off. And I wonder if now these cards where on a dice roll you get that extra attack, suddenly they're a lot more worthwhile again, because if they do come off, you can find yourself with 2 or 3 extra attacks in a round.
That's true.
Yeah. I think it's only Jealous Defense that you can cut. Can now, I think, normal general card. I got really angry when they got rid of Aggressive Defense.
Yeah.
I hated that card. I was glad to see the back of that.
I was so angry. I was like, this card's so fantastic. I hate you. Why ban this? Past the ban, that's the only one I have really got so annoyed.
So do you play things like Praise Cunning and Survival Instincts both on Gurzag, so that he can't be pushed back by an attack and then he can't be distracted by a ploy?
Yes.
Nice.
I have. Yes, I have done that, and it makes people cry because you can't do you can't move him away, you can't push him, you can't do stealth, gambit stealth with him as well. So you need to hit. It's only one way you can hit him is leave a head. If it runs a lever through a lever head, or you have to hit him, and he's fisting a rock that will hit you hard and will hit hard when he wants to.
Yeah, because Gurzag's rolling 2 hammers. When he's inspired, he gets a re-roll on one of those dice, which makes him more accurate, and he's doing 3 damage off the bat. But you can easily boost that to 4 or 5.
Get an extra attack or something as well.
Yep.
From having a good time or something. It's just brutal.
Yeah.
It goes well. Deck can go really well. I think it's like I think one of the questions I got asked is what do people look when they when they come against me and play against me, and some of my opponents first thing they see is Orruks. I had one judgment when in October Grand Class was, this is Orruks, this is going to be Eaten Wing, and he thought that until he then saw how good I played him and how good my deck is, and I've just crossed and pulverized him quite bad in the first game. The second game was a lot closer, and I don't know the gentleman's name, but he had Profiteers, and he was really scared in the second game. He was more wary what to do because my deck came out. So people underrate the Orruks or any warband you take that's something unusual.
Yeah.
The problem is it leg up because they don't know what to card. They might guess, okay, you're aggro, but some cards will guess right, but the rest of the deck, boom, because it's a normal warband someone takes, so you really can confuse your opponent if you take something unusual. So and also winning against not a normal warband, it's always more satisfying winning against someone who think they got an easy game, but then get crushed and they're not happy about that.
So do you?
We've got a question here, which I think you might not want to answer. Is how do we beat your Orruks? What is the one thing you don't want people to do when they set up against you or when they play against you? What are you not looking for?
Longboard, I hate longboard, but I can say longboard, but it depends what warband you take and what you do. Definitely. But the problem is you have to win the board, and if you're Grimwatch, I don't mind longboard because you're coming to me because I got 3 objectives.
That's true.
So,
yeah,
that's true.
It's more curse breakers or something like that. They're doing a longboard that I will sit there and cry. But
So where do you, if you do get longboarded again? Well, I don't suppose the Grimwatch would longboard you, but if you've got 3 objectives against Grimwatch, do you put any in their half, or do you keep, because you want to keep them up to the border, don't you, so that they don't get too deep into your half?
I do put them quite close. I put one mostly on no man's land in the middle, one in my area, and if I can, and one quite close into theirs, can.
Yeah.
And so come forward to get them, and that's my opportunity to run in there and go, fine, now you're close, I can hit you, or same with
yeah, it's for jealous defense as well, isn't it? So you can, there's one there for you to run onto.
So it depends who are playing. It's definitely objective warband players. I can make them come towards me, and that's what people want to do, to come towards a orc.
So we had a couple more questions which I hadn't covered off, and I figure we can probably round off with just the last couple of questions, and if anything pops up in the chat they might have. So one thing that was asked is what's the most glory you've ever scored with your Orruk deck? What's your big win?
The most biggest win I scored was, I think, 31 or 32 glory.
Wow. Yowza.
I've never scored over 30.
That against the Goblin Warband.
Oh, yeah.
I fisty wiped out, scored nearly on my objective. I had deny, annihilate and conquest, so fisty 9 goblins plus that's 19 alone, and then I had in punch up a lot of 2s. When you add everything up, he's like, oh wow, I just scored that many.
That's mental.
And
just imagine if you did Tome of Offerings as well.
Oh yeah, I had it, but yeah. But if every charge I did killed a goblin.
Yeah.
It was just
brutal.
It's like the first thing I did was I think I charged Snurks and killed him instantly, and so the biggest threat was dead because I haven't got him flying around with his ball with 3 dodge. So
yeah, we had a game ages ago with Orruks versus Zarbag's Gits, and Robin did a similar thing where he charged forward and one-shot Snurk, but then after that, I think I ended up tabling you, Robin, on that game with the Gits.
You did table me.
Your dice were
everything went badly wrong.
Yeah, your dice were
everything
horrific.
Went badly wrong. I think you played one of the cards slightly wrong as well. You were getting extra supports.
Yeah, something like that.
You tore the Orruks to pieces.
Yeah, I think you had some very bad dice rolls that day, and you didn't have Tim's deck.
Yeah.
So.
No, I didn't know how to play them. I am actually we're going to try and play a game in the not too distant future where I'm going to bring your deck we won't unfortunately be to the real tabletop. I'm going to play it against Pete on Tabletop Simulator in the next week or so.
Fair enough. I just have to say it's not an easy deck.
I should look forward to screwing it up then.
You get to watch Robin mutilate your deck on one of our games.
You could see it now. First draw, 5 upgrades. Yeah. Second draw, 5 upgrades.
Well, I guess that's the risk you have. But I guess if you do get 5 upgrades at that first hand, it doesn't matter. You just dump them. You don't even have to think about it. Just gone. Don't care.
Yeah. It's basically just don't think. Just dump. Then don't hesitate. Just go. No, bye. That's what I do. What's the other question?
So I think that's pretty much all the questions we had. I think we've covered everything else off during the stream, during the chat. I mean, personally, from my point of view, this deck does a lot of things that I personally have avoided doing a long time. It's 26 cards. I don't do that. It's got 2 third end phase cards. I don't do that. It's got multiple roll dice chance cards. I don't do that. It's just.
Really, it's got 3 third end phase cards because Annihilation. I mean, okay, theoretically you could score it round 2, but how often have you scored it round 2, Tim?
About 3 times.
Right, yeah. So
it's 3 more times than I've ever scored Annihilation, frankly, ever. So I don't know if anybody out there in YouTube land has any other questions they wanted to ask. We've got maybe a minute before we were going to call it a night. I think now.
I do got that Andrew put down. I want to say he asked if Hack and Batter is worse than Taurus and
Tavia. The Eyes of the Nine Fighters.
I would say Nadia and Tarsus are the worst two people in Nightfall altogether.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Actually, hack and bash when they get inspired, they get extra dice and extra damage.
Yeah. I mean, hack and bash
They've got
do.
4 wounds.
They've
got 4 wounds. So you can't one shot them very easily.
They got 4 wounds. They've got
they are definitely a cut above. I mean, they're better than Targor and Arnulf.
Yeah, they are. And they both roll 3 swords when inspired. They both do 2 damage, and they both have a chance on a crit to do something, which is nearing 50-50 with 3 swords. Possibly better if you get some rerolls or something like that with Glory Seeker or something maybe going on. No, not Glory Seeker. Challenge Seeker. You haven't got Challenge Seeker, so you can't upgrade their accuracy at all. But there's still a 50-50 chance with those. So one question.
A lot of people have said they are rubbish. They're not. They can be good. You put the right upgrades and get the right cards. I've one shot lot of full wound characters, charge in, do 2 damage, push them back to the lever heads, pit trap, they're done.
Yeah.
I guess really they're similar to the way you play spoilers, Pete, in the sense that you don't think much of them, and then suddenly they have a couple of decent weapons put on them, like Hammerbone Spear or something, and then suddenly they're a right pain in the butt.
And these guys, they're 4 wounds apiece, so they're tough. And Gurzag's 5 when inspired, so
just a bit slow.
Yeah, just a little slow, but once you get up into the field, if you've set all the objectives up near each other, you don't need to be that fast because everybody's within crumping range.
That's true. Crumping.
So the last question, I think, the last question that was asked, if you could make one change to the Orruks as they stand, what change would you make?
Oh,
I'll tell you mine. I think that some of them should go up to 2 shields on defense when inspired, like Gurzag maybe.
Yeah.
Or something like that, because
I think Bonecutter should go up to these 2, and I know he has an upgrade card when he can get one of his weapon upgrade weapons. He can do a swipe.
Oh yeah.
No, what's it called?
Scything. I was going to say that. That's what I was going to say. He should get a scything attack.
Definitely.
So,
they also ought to have faction specific ready for action. So you could say ready for action.
It's like I do because a lot of the old warbands don't have up to 11 upgrades, 11 ploys or 11 glory. I do think they should bring a pack out for all the warbands that don't have up to the right number, and I think they should do that to all of them. So it means Orcs can get a couple more, same to Steel Hearts and so on and so forth. And I think they can. That's what they can do, in my opinion. So so it's a chance there. So. And that's what I like to see, some new cards from now, and it's not that hard to do. So officially you give them a couple extra cards to maybe go, and that's through Season 2 and Season 1 warbands. So
you keep playing them into like Season 5 and 6, everybody will have forgotten what they actually have, and you just go make up your own cards. Go, oh yeah, they could do that. But nobody will be able to remember, because it'll be so long since anybody played them.
Yeah. It does happen. I have had people going, playing some Orc cards. It's like, oh, what's that one do? I forgot. So
yeah, some of these
Season
cards.
3. So
I mean, because you can't get the Orruks anymore, you can't buy them. There's a lot of people out there who coming in Beastgrave, they're going to be like, they're what? What are they? Are they these new? The more
slip Jason at Underworld's DB £20. He'll probably stick them on there for you as well. Yeah. You go, no, there it is. It's just there.
See, it's right there. I mean, how hard is this to work out? So I think it's 11:30. I think it's time for us to call it a night here.
Definitely.
Do you have any other questions you want to ask?
Keep talking about.
Sorry, Tim.
Who, me? Oh, sorry. What was?
I was just sorry. I was wondering if Robin had any other questions he wanted to ask at all. If he had anything we hadn't asked about yet.
Yeah, Tim. If you had 3 children in your house tomorrow and you had to homeschool them, what would you do?
Not relevant, Robin. Next question.
duct tape them to the chair and the mouth and leave them. They'll be fine there for.
Apparently that's
As long as they
illegal.
can
Apparently
breathe.
others do.
Well,
These
legal. It's only legal.
namby-pamby leftist people, their children's rights nonsense.
I say you got children. I work with animals, so it can be as bad.
Yeah,
Just need a cage.
My
At least
children
you
stop
can put them
shitting
in
all
a
over the
cage.
floor, it's fair to say.
Just.
Sadly,
So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Tim, for coming on the show. Thank you for telling us about your deck. We are very grateful to get insider knowledge on that one.
Say thank you for having me, and anybody else who wants to ask questions to me, you can. I need to. I'm on Discord myself, or I'm on Patreon as well. So I'm happy to.
If you've got any questions, they can stick them in the comments below here, and we'll make sure that you get to them, or they get to you rather, and then you can answer them that way too.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I haven't answered everybody, so just do that. I'm happy to go through answer many questions. Just rack my brain. But like any warband, longer you play with them, better you can get with them. And I have just sat down and played these non-stop.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying out the deck, and I'm interested to see where you take them next with the new cards. Perhaps we'll catch up with you in a few months' time and see what your deck looks like.
We'll have a follow up post Morgox and whatever the other one called.
Andrew says hopefully we'll get some more guests on the show in the future. I think we should. I hesitate to ask everybody who they'd like to see on the show.
Put it in the comments below.
Can try and get some other people on.
Stick in the comments below. Sorry? Who would you like? I was just saying, stick them in the comments below. Who would you like to see on the show? Yeah,
live it might be tricky to get people who live across the pond,
possibly
down in Australia.
But at the minute,
maybe record something.
At the minute, everyone's on lockdown, so it's not like anyone's going anywhere.
That's true. Yeah, but definitely, it'd be good to get some other people on. It's been great to have you, Tim, on the show. You're our first special guest.
You are.
I'm not sure we'll have a guest with such a unique take on the game, though. Apart from maybe Andrew. We'll get Andrew on.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that anybody with such a unique take on the game. So thanks for that, Tim.
Yes, thank you, Tim.
Somebody's already said Tim again. We'll get Tim on when he's won a Grand Clash. We'll get him on then.
Yeah, definitely. He won't want to talk to us then.
No pressure, mate.
I'll be mood.
Brilliant. So thank you, Tim, for coming, and thank you everybody tuning in. Hopefully everyone's staying safe and well out there in this current crazy world. Tim, thank you for all the work you do.
Guys.
You obviously have to still go to work, and thank you for going out there and pretty much, just almost risking your life to keep things going for us, all us people staying at home. So thanks to everyone out there who's doing that, and everybody else who isn't. Stay at home, stay safe, and just keep painting.
Yep.
Keep painting,
So we'll see you soon. Sorry?
Cheers, guys.
See you soon in the Beast Grave. Bye.
Bye.